Hello, my name is Pastor Lupe. I'm the youth pastor here at River of Life Church. I am excited to share some tips and some resources to help you in motivating and encouraging your teens to read the Bible. You know, as a youth pastor of 2 older teens, my wife and I have shared in this struggle with you. I know, kind of shocking, right? Even as pastors, yes, we struggle with getting our teens motivated to read the Bible. Why? Well, that's the question, isn't it? That's the question that brought us here today. You know, as we worked together as a couple, we were trying to figure out, why aren't they engaged? Why aren't they motivated? Shouldn't this have come naturally? We're pastors, right? And the answer to that is no. So as we began to pray and pray and pray and look through resources after resources after resources, I felt God tell me this one day. Lupe, how was it for you when you first came to know me? How engaged were you? How excited were you to grow and learn? Man, I was so motivated. I was so hungry to know more about God. So, of course, I didn't know where to turn at first, but then I realized I'll crack open the Bible and let me read through this. But I didn't know where to start. Where do I start? What page? What verse? What Bible story? What book do I start on? So I flipped to Genesis and I started reading. I found out pretty quickly, though, that I did not understand what was really being said. There was a lot of art and a lot of thous, and I was reading the King James Version. I honestly didn't know that there was other versions out there. So is the same with our teens. Are we properly equipping our teens to have the right tools, to have the best experience and most enjoyable experience when they read the Bible? The first thing I would suggest is understand that our teens are not as far along in their faith as we are. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 2, I had fed you with milk, not with solid food, because you weren't ready for anything stronger. Paul is saying here that these people that he's talking to are still young in their faith, as our teens are, and that they need to take time, and he needs to have patience with them in growing in their faith. So we can't assume that when we tell our teens to go read the Bible, that they know exactly what we mean by that. What my wife and I tend to do is we lay out a chapter for them, a specific chapter, or maybe a specific story that we feel like would be really engaging to them. We don't want them to go read the entire book of James and come back with a full-length sermon for us on what it all meant to them and how that applies to their life. No. We want them to start off small. Small steps is the key. Remember, we all were held in our parents' arms before we crawled, and we crawled before we walked. So it is a process, and we need to have grace and patience with that. Secondly, I would suggest that you buy your teenager a paperback Bible just like this, in a version that would be easiest for them to understand. With that being said, there are some easier versions out there. NLT, NIV, those are just some of the easier reads out there for our teens to understand what is being said. I'm not trying to water down scripture, but I am trying to make it where our teens can understand what is being said and in practical terms and ways. Third, since we live in a time where technology is readily available at the snap of a finger, we encourage you and your family to download the Bible app through your Play Store or App Store on all your smart devices. The Bible app has made it easy to find engaging and fun Bible devos. We'll do that part over. And download the Bible app on your smart devices. The Bible app has made it easy to find engaging and fun Bible devos that you can do as a family together. Once my wife and I find a devo that we feel would be great for maybe the season that we're in, or maybe a certain situation or a certain topic, we send that link directly to our kids in our family chat, and we invite them to start the devo with us. Then later on that day, we discuss that morning's devo with them. We ask inviting and engaging questions to our students. We say, hey, what do you think of that Bible story? How do you think that applies to you? What do you think about that story and what it meant to maybe Jesus' time or to those people? We try to invite those invoking conversation and questions with them, so that way they can help understand maybe what was being said, how they interpret it, and maybe what the Bible is trying to say to them. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. You are already the best parent in their life. You're doing the very best that you can. so don't expect them to be exactly where you're at in your faith. Take time. I have attached in the description below some fun and easy devos that we like to do and that we started to do, so that way you can have it readily available for you today. Hey, thanks again for checking us out, and we'll see you on the next video.